warm welcome to HCL at Davos and WEF 2019.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
One of the themes for WEF 2019 is Globalization 4.0. Jen, what are your thoughts on that, and how does it impact your industry or even the startup world?
When I think at the core about Globalization 4.0, the biggest risk for us as a community is the fragmentation, the polarization, the inequality, and just the lack of focus on the commons. And when I think about the role of technology and specifically the roles of the startups, it's how do we create a platform that improves trust, that improves communication, that improves collaboration, that helps us all get equal access to that platform to help bring us closer together.
At the center of any product development, you have the customer.
Yes.
Right? So from a customer experience point of view, where do you foresee in the next 10 years? What's going to be most important to a customer?
I think they're really two things, and the first is trust. It has to be an experience that customers can have visibility and transparency on what is happening in order to facilitate trust. It also has to have a fundamental ease of use. I think our job as technologists is to take all of the complexities of these technologies and to deliver to customers simple solutions that enable them to really harness the power of what's possible through the technology.
When you say closer together, collaboration, what is the role you think an ecosystem approach will play in the coming decade?
It's interesting to think about the role of equal, because I think we're at a risk now of becoming unequal, and greater risk probably than we ever have before. But when I think about it from a technology perspective, it's how do we create equal access? And that's a big part of what we think about at Cloudflare. We've got presence in over 76 countries. We have a global audience of over 12 million domains, and we service everything from NGOs and governments and free customers to some of the top Fortune companies. And I think for us it's about kind of creating a platform that enables everybody to participate in the discourse and to share freely information and ideas. Ecosystems fascinate me because it is so hard to predict what will become of them. My hope for the ecosystems that will emerge tomorrow are that they continue to be open, welcoming, transparent, and really continuing to further that notion of cohesion and change.
What are your thoughts on diversity and the role gender diversity will particularly play in the coming decade?
I think diversity is critical. I think one of the biggest risks we have as an industry and frankly as a global community is again that fragmentation and the siloing of ideas. I think a diverse perspective, giving people an opportunity to, one, bring their best selves by being their authentic selves and feeling comfortable doing that, and then also bringing forward their own experiences and being able to share that safely in a community of trust, I think will make us all much stronger and much more cohesive as a global community.
So Jen, what would be your advice to your peer set on technology innovation?
My advice is really keep the humans at the forefront. I think it's very easy for us as technologists to nerd out on the technology and talk about the details and the nitty-gritty and trying to think about how do we make it this and that, but I think we really need to think about how our community is going to embrace and use these technologies for the better.
Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you for being here with us. Really a pleasure to have you here with us.